I had a business marriage with an incubus CEO. But he's actually really shy about intimacy. If I touched him, he'd stiffen up, and if I kissed him, he'd blush. I thought it meant he wasn't into me, so I never pushed it. Until one day, I casually said my friend's pet snake was cute. That night, he wrapped his tail around my waist and whispered, "Touch it, I'm cute too." On our wedding night, Harry admitted to being an incubus. But I wasn't convinced. Besides his good looks, Harry didn't show any traits of an incubus. No tail, no horns, and definitely no desire in that department. He wasn't like that at all. But he had no reason to lie. To find out, I waited outside the bathroom. I wanted to see if he'd show any signs while bathing. Thought I was being sneaky, but Harry noticed when the door cracked open. He paused, half undressed, and asked softly, "Wendy, is that you?" I was too scared to respond. Before he could open the door, I crawled back to bed. As I laid down, Harry peeked out and, seeing me there, closed the bathroom door again. My heart rate calmed down after that. But curiosity got the best of me. I tiptoed back to the door and gently pushed. It was locked. Damn, he's really avoiding me. Who's the real incubus here? Couldn't help it, I knocked on the door a few times. Yeah, I felt better letting it out, but I was still curious. So curious I couldn't sleep till I knew. The water stopped soon after. I leaned into the door and asked, "Harry? You all right?" The water started again, and his voice, thick and muffled, said, "I'm fine. Sleep first if you want, I'll be out soon." I waited over an hour, and still, no sound of him coming out. Guess tonight was a no-go. I wanted to wait longer, but sleep soon overcame me. In a haze, I felt the blanket lift and someone pulling me into a cool, comforting embrace. Sleepy as I was, I snuggled closer. The next morning, he was gone when I woke. Feeling defeated by my failed attempts, I texted my experienced friend Lucy for advice, keeping Harry's secret between us. Didn't want him turned into a lab experiment, after all. Besides, I wasn't sure if he was an incubus myself. I shared just parts of the story. Lucy replied instantly, "Simple. Take charge." Busy as she was, she didn't explain further. Half an hour later, I got a brand new pair of cuffs. Staring at them for a while, intrigue got the better of me. Binged a YouTube tutorial on cuffs, then texted Harry, "When you coming home?" His reply was instant, "Busy, not sure." Busy? I had seen his schedule when I brought him lunch yesterday. He was free all day. "Can you come earlier? I need to talk." I had a plan, get him into the bedroom somehow, then. But this time, he took longer to respond. "Is it important? I might be late." Late's no good. What if I fell asleep again like last night? So, after checking with his assistant to see if he was really busy, and got a big nope, I texted, "Not really important. Just hurt myself a bit, could use your company." Harry didn't text back. But 15 minutes later, I heard his hurried steps. I quickly got into bed, clutching my leg, feigning pain. He rushed over, pulling back the covers to see. "Where and how did you hurt yourself?" Before I could think of an answer, he bent down to carry me. That turned to, "We're going to the hospital right now." No way I was leaving. Held his hand down, racking my brain, just a minor burn. Before he tugged the covers again, I blurted, "I dropped some ointment under the dresser. Mind fetching it?" I'd planned this detailed setup for exactly such a moment. Of course, I expected him to comply. Yet, Harry stalled. "Let's get to the hospital first." I clutched his hand tighter. "Please, just grab it first." Giving in to my persistence, Harry stayed put, leaned over the bedside table to reach. The moment he picked something up, he was about to get up. I quickly grabbed his hand and snapped the handcuffs on. Click. Harry was shocked, looking up at me. While he was still processing, I quickly got off the bed and pushed him down onto it, fastening the other side of the handcuffs to the bedpost securely. After all this, I yanked off his tie and tied up his free hand too. Harry hesitantly spoke, "Wendy, what are you doing?" I was busy unbuttoning his shirt and answered without looking up, "I'm checking where your succubus mark is." My hands were all over Harry's body, my fingertips inevitably brushing against his skin. I searched his upper body thoroughly but saw no trace. I gritted my teeth, moving my fingers to his belt. His muscles tensed, and he stammered, "It's not there." "Yeah, right." Knowing roughly the area, I mustered up the courage and yanked his pants down. I accidentally pulled everything down, leaving him unable to cover himself with his hands bound. We were both embarrassed. After mentally preparing myself for a bit, I finally opened my eyes and saw a black pattern gradually appearing on his abdomen. Wow, it really was there. I was stunned for a moment, ready to reach out and touch it. Suddenly, there was a loud snap as he broke the handcuffs. In the next second, Harry's hands were on my waist, lifting me off him with ease. He rushed into the bathroom as if escaping a monster. I was worried and followed him. The water was still running in the bathroom. I knocked on the door, "Harry?" No response. Based on past experience, he should be out in an hour or two. So I crouched next to the wall, replaying Harry's reactions. At first, he seemed surprised, but he didn't try to stop me. When I started taking off his pants, he only protested verbally, meaning he wasn't really against it. Then why did he break the handcuffs? If he didn't want me to see, why confess his succubus identity? Maybe the sounds of the water messed with my thoughts because I was so confused. I was on the verge of biting my nails when I heard a small noise from the bathroom. I tapped on the door, "Harry, you should come out. Your skin will get all wrinkly." Plus, from the cool air coming through the door crack, he was probably showering in cold water. No matter how detached, I didn't want to inherit his stuff so soon. The water stopped for a few seconds. Harry still didn't come out. I sighed, knocking on the door again, "I'm going to sleep." "Hurry up." With that, I stood up and moved a bit to ensure he couldn't see my shadow when inside. Sure enough, not long after I moved, the water stopped. Harry emerged wrapped up tightly. His steps paused when he saw me sitting against the wall. His gaze immediately fell to my supposedly injured leg. Seeing it smooth without a scratch, he finally relaxed, exhaling in relief. I beckoned him with a finger, "Harry, can we talk?" Harry looked down at me. After a long while, he nodded, "Okay." Gathering my thoughts, I began, "Sorry about today. I wanted to see if you were lying, but my method was wrong. Making him take long cold showers to quench my curiosity really made me feel guilty." Harry shook his head, "It wasn't your fault." He didn't seem angry, so I relaxed a bit. After hesitating a moment, I suggested, "Maybe we should sleep in separate rooms?" That was the conclusion I came to after much thought. It was obvious he didn't want to touch me. But this was the third time he showered in cold water, and that wasn't sustainable for his health. Better to sleep separately. He wouldn't affect his health, and I wouldn't affect my peace of mind. Harry's Adam's apple bobbed, "Okay." Solving this issue was such a relief. I clapped my hands and used the wall to get up. Harry automatically reached out to help me, but I dodged, "No need, or you'll be back in the shower." Even if he could take it, our water bill would surely complain. His arm froze mid-air. After a moment, he echoed, "Okay." In the following days, Harry wasn't around at home. I thought he was just busy, so I didn't disturb or distract him, just brought lunch to his office for his assistant. The assistant was surprised, saying, "Harry has had a fever and hasn't been to work for 2 days." 2 days. That means he got sick the day after showering with cold water. But I hadn't seen him at home. The housekeeper didn't mention anything either. So where was he? I handed the lunchbox to the assistant and rushed home. When I got there, the housekeeper was just pouring porridge into a bowl to take upstairs. She was startled by my sudden return, her words stammering, "Ma'am, you're back early." Looking at the tray, I asked, "Is Harry really sick?" The housekeeper wouldn't lie. For Harry to hide at home for 2 days without me knowing had to be his doing. She looked worried. He had a fever since moving out of the master bedroom. I wanted to tell you, but he stopped me, only ordering me to leave meals at his door when you weren't looking. Oh, Harry. I took the tray and asked the housekeeper for a spare key. She quickly found the guest room key, offering to unlock the door for me, given my occupied hands. The moment the door opened, the housekeeper briskly trotted downstairs to avoid Harry seeing her. I squeezed through the gap and shut the door quietly behind me. Harry slept deeply, unaware of my presence. Quietly, I set down the porridge and reached to feel his forehead. I hadn't touched him yet when I noticed the small clay figure clenched in his palm. It was too dark to see clearly. I pulled my attention back to him, pressing my hand gently to his forehead. He was burning up, drenched with sweat. Wow, he's really sick. I moved my hand from his forehead, trying to wake him up. Before I could say anything, Harry grabbed my wrist and shook it off. Don't touch me. He was weak, so he didn't have much strength. The moment he realized it was me, he quickly wrapped himself tightly in the blanket. He seemed a bit flustered. Sorry, I didn't know it was you. Burning up like this, he might not be fully conscious. I didn't plan to argue with him. I squatted by the bed and tried to reason with him. It's okay, but your fever is really high. How about we go to the hospital and get it checked out? He's been bedridden for 2 days because of the fever. If we keep letting it slide, I'm worried he'll end up worse off. Harry clutched the blanket tightly, his voice gravelly. No need, I'm fine. Seeing his defensive stance, I was at my wit's end. I'm not planning on taking off your pants today, you don't need to worry. Harry seemed hit a nerve. He pulled the blanket up even higher. What's his deal? I'm not some creep. Afraid that any more standoff might make me pass out from frustration, I grabbed at his blanket. Come on, let's go to the hospital. Harry still refused. Seeing how resistant he was, I suggested, then should I call the family doctor? One way or another, we needed to bring his temperature down. Harry shook his head. No need, it's not a fever. So hot you could fry an egg on him, and yet he says it's not a fever. My phone was downstairs. I decided to go across him and reach for his phone next to his pillow. Harry held his breath, not daring to move. It was a bit of a stretch, and as I stood up, I didn't find my balance and ended up with my hand on him. Harry let out a muffled groan but still reached for his phone. Seeing how uncooperative he was, I got a bit annoyed and leaned in harder. Fine, keep burning up. I won't be a widow when you die, I'll just take your inheritance and find a new husband. Harry panicked hearing that. He gritted his teeth and said in a barely audible voice, I'm not actually sick, it's a different kind of fever. Whoa. My face turned beet red, and I pulled my hand back like I was shocked. Sorry, I had no idea. We've been married for a while, and Harry never showed any signs of desire. I totally forgot about the whole incubus thing. Oh God, that explains why Harry was acting like that earlier. Too embarrassed to look at him directly, I mumbled, So, now what should I do? Besides the obvious, is there anything else that could help him get some relief? Harry nearly pulled the blanket over his head. He mumbled, It's all right, it'll pass eventually. Just tough it out. I hesitated for a moment before asking, or maybe, we could. We are legally married, after all, it's not like it's out of bounds. But Harry refused without skipping a beat. No need. It'll be over soon. Since he said no, I didn't push it. I told him to drink his porridge and left the room. I realized halfway there that I still had Harry's phone. I turned back to return it, pushing the door open. What I saw was Harry holding a small clay figurine, trying to keep his breathing quiet. Realizing what he was doing, I hastily tossed the phone onto the bed and made my escape. 3 days later, Harry went back to work as usual. Things got awkward for me, so I kept tabs on his health through our housekeeper. She had this knowing look and advised, You're both so worried about each other, with one hiding his illness and the other anxiously caring in secret. If you care, why not just say so? Harry was the one hiding stuff from me. I was just concerned as his spouse. Seeing I was silent, the housekeeper continued, "This morning, while cleaning, I noticed a little clay figurine by Mr. Harry's pillow. He even cuddles it in his sleep. You should stop sulking." Clay figurine? Cuddling it in his sleep? So that little clay guy is supposed to be me? That's when I remembered what I saw when I brought him the porridge. Curiosity got the best of me. After asking the housekeeper to keep Harry occupied, I sneaked into his guest room. The place was spotless. The clay figurine sat on the nightstand. First, I looked out the window to make sure Harry's car wasn't there. Satisfied, I moved to the bed to take a closer look at the little clay figure. The moment I saw it clearly, my smile vanished. My heart sank. It didn't look like me at all. The only thing I could be sure of was that it wasn't me because the figurine had short hair, and I never did. That's why Harry, as an incubus, remained so celibate. That's why he'd rather take cold showers than touch me. Everything finally made sense. Harry had someone else in his heart, he was saving himself for them. How did he see my concern over the past few days? Laughable? Or guilt-inducing? The more I thought about it, the sadder I felt. I almost lost my temper, ready to throw that figurine. But just as I raised my hand, Harry snatched the clay guy away. He looked panicked. "What are you doing?" I quickly wiped my tears, pointed at him, and said clearly, "Harry, you're disgusting. I want a divorce." In an instant, Harry's face turned pale. We didn't end up divorcing. Harry refused, without offering a proper explanation. He wouldn't even let me leave the house. I could have friends over, I could have tutors come by. But stepping out was off the table. Luckily, I'm a homebody, so I took pleasure in giving Harry a hard time. If he wanted to save himself for someone else, I'd just tease him, watching him struggle between restraint and urgency. No matter how many times I tempted, Harry always reacted the same, avoiding me and locking himself away as soon as he got home, reluctant to even see me. He even anticipated our housekeeper's defection, collecting all spare keys in advance. But what can I say? I'd watched some movies out of curiosity and happened to pick up a thing or two about locks. I easily unlocked it. Throwing back Harry's blankets, I started to grope around randomly. Harry woke up from my fumbling. He tried hard to keep his cool, the veins on his arms popping. "Wendy, can you please stop torturing me? If he's upset, that makes me happy." I brushed off that little discomfort in my heart, smiling sweetly at him, "Of course. When you sign the divorce papers, I'll leave right away, won't bother you at all." That's one of the few strategies I could think of. From what I know about Harry, choosing between abstinence and divorce, he'd definitely opt for the latter. Harry flatly refused. "No way." Haha. I let out a cold laugh. "Harry, you're disgusting. Having feelings for someone else, yet unwilling to get a divorce. What's the point?" Harry's gaze darkens. "You're right, but Since I wasn't getting what I wanted, I didn't want him to feel good either. Before he could react, I reached out and messed with him. Then, just when he was most tensed up, I withdrew my hand and left. Before I left, I made sure to take a photo of him in that state for keepsake. Once back in my room, I ordered someone to find out who Harry's crush was. As long as I found out, I could bring up the divorce again to Harry. If he still refused, I'd use the photo to threaten to send it to his crush. To maintain his image with her, he'd most likely give in. And if that didn't work either, I'd figure it out then. I had plenty of energy and tricks. What I didn't expect was that the private detective I hired at a high price experienced the first setback in his career. They used every trick in the book but couldn't find out who that person was. The person in charge sent me a crying emoji. "Wendy, are you sure this person exists? We've really tried everything, and there's not even a female mosquito around Harry." Not entirely wrong. The women around Harry were either family or employees. His family relationships were so-so, avoiding meetings unless necessary. And with his employees, not even a glance exchanged beyond work. But, surely this person has to exist? The little clay figure was evidence. As I was pondering, a message came from the other side. Every word spelled caution. Wendy, we've actually used professional software for comparison. The result was, the little clay figure looks more like it was made based on you. That's what they said. But I couldn't see the resemblance at all. The more I thought, the more agitated I got. So I went straight to Harry's room. He hadn't had a chance to change the lock yet. I pushed open the door. Caught him holding the little clay figure, tenderly kissing its forehead. Hearing a noise, Harry was a bit flustered, clenching the figure tightly. I frowned. His reaction confirmed even more that the little figure wasn't of me. Who am I? I am Harry's lawful wife. If he really liked me, he could kiss the real thing. Why hold the clay figure and kiss it all day? Especially like that. Seeing him being stared at by me intensely. Harry stashed the little figure under the pillow, casually buttoning his pajama to the topmost. I asked him, Harry, is that little clay figure supposed to be me? Bothered by this question for days. My words inevitably carried some emotion. Harry was stunned for a few seconds, yes. But before I could react, he quickly denied, no. Not me, but looking like me. There's only one reason for this. I must resemble his crush exactly. Harry was using me as a substitute. I almost cried out of frustration. Seeing my teary eyes, Harry got up, trying to hug me. But I shoved him hard. Get lost, you jerk. Harry didn't budge. I simply walked around him. Didn't give him another glance. After that, whenever I saw Harry, I'd only say one thing, divorce. He disagreed. I treated him like air. Until Harry vanished once more from my sight. I finally called my bestie Lucy over to hang out at my place. When she arrived, a pet snake was wound around her wrist. She eagerly stretched her hand out the moment she walked in. Look. Isn't it adorable? Clearly another one she'd carefully selected, with such pretty color and patterns. Seeing Lucy's expectant face, I nodded, adorable. Hearing someone praise her pet was one of the happiest things in the world for sure. Lucy chattered on about the snake's antics. Only stopping when she was tired, she asked, oh right, nearly forgot to ask you. How are you and Harry doing? Did you manage to have your way with him? Bringing it up made my smile freeze. Still, I decided to tell the truth. Didn't work, not great, planning to leave. Lucy promptly pressed for details. I left out the whole succubus abstinence thing, just said Harry probably had a first love. And she looked a lot like me. Lucy found it amusing. Not possible, right? I won't claim to know it all, but for you to be a stand-in, the original must be drop-dead gorgeous. You should look into it. Harry doesn't seem like that kind of jerk, does he? I absent-mindedly petted the snake. I asked. Initially he said it was me, then he said it wasn't. Lucy settled. Then it's probably you. Usually the first answer is the truth. That made it even more puzzling. Since it's me, why hide it then, Harry? I am his wife, not someone else's. While I was deep in thought, Lucy stood up, snake in hand. All right, I'll get someone to look into this for you, wait for my news. She left. Alone, I didn't feel like staying in the living room. I went upstairs back to my room. Just as I closed the door, I was pinned against it. Harry leaned in, nuzzling the side of my neck. Wendy, I feel terrible. His body was burning, and he didn't seem fully conscious. I froze, not daring to move. Almost forgot. These days happened to be his rut period. Harry kept murmuring, Wendy, I don't want a divorce, stop giving me the silent treatment. The moment the word divorce comes up, unpleasant memories flash in my mind. I pushed him away, trying to be tough. Divorce would be great. You can go find your true love and stop holding back every day. Even if there's a 70% chance that little Tao man is me, I'm not showing him a friendly face. If it's me, he deserves a scolding for being silent. If it's not me, he married me while having someone else in his heart, which deserves a slap. Harry pressed his lips and said, I don't have anyone else. Little Tao Man is made to look like you. So I was right. I threw the question at him. I've never had short hair, and last time I asked, you clearly said it wasn't me. Harry answered truthfully, the short hair was because I just learned how to make it back then, couldn't get around long hair. No wonder Little Tao Man looks nothing like me. Turns out he made it himself. Harry continued, I said it wasn't you because. He shut his eyes briefly, a bit embarrassed. You saw me once doing something, and you called me disgusting. My face burned instantly. Avoiding his gaze, I explained that disgusting was specifically about you having someone else in your heart and still marrying me. Since the person in your heart is me, it doesn't count. Seeing it that day didn't bother me at all. Harry's eyes lit up. Excited, his tail wrapped around my waist. I jumped, instinctively looking down. Harry frantically tried to control his tail, trying to hide it behind him. Watching his actions, a ridiculous thought popped into my head. Wait, you always endure your heat period alone, refusing to show me your tail and demon patterns because. Harry managed to hide his tail with difficulty, speaking quietly, on our wedding night, you gave me a look. I thought you found me repulsive. That look wasn't repulsive at all. I was just thinking my new husband might be a bit off. Torn between deciding whether to divorce or stick together through thick and thin. Preparing myself for a post-marriage life of helping him with any mental hiccups. But later, Harry showed me his full health report. Not a single anomaly, mentally or physically. I touched my nose, daring not to mention this, only ensuring to clear up that I wasn't disgusted. Harry's tail flicked. But this time, he didn't rush to hide it, asking, what did you think when you first saw my demon patterns? I recalled carefully. Didn't feel much, just thought it was magical. Turns out Harry isn't crazy, and he wasn't lying to me. Even looked cool, just like I'd seen online. Seeing I hadn't spoken, Harry asked cautiously, did you feel disgusted? He thought I was repulsed by his demon patterns and tail. No wonder he took cold showers every time his tail was about to come out after that day. I shook my head, not at all. Harry asked hopefully, anything else? What else? Did he want me to write an 800-word review or something? I hadn't even gotten a good look at it. Just as I was about to take a closer look, Harry couldn't wait. He took my hand, placing it firmly on his tail, pleading hoarsely, touch and see, I'm also cute. My fingers instinctively curled, making Harry's body stiffen, hotter than before. I awkwardly patted it twice, trying to take my hand back. But Harry wouldn't let go. He grasped my wrist, forehead meeting mine. Is it cute or am I cute? He must have gone nuts. Competing with his own tail for attention. When I gave him a look like he was a bit off, Harry added, compared to that little snake this afternoon. I sighed, you're cute, you're the cutest. Harry was satisfied. His tail flicked in my hand, then he nestled against my neck. Can you just touch me in the future? His words made me blush and my heart pound. I bared my teeth and pushed him. Harry, don't push your luck. I have things to settle with you. If he had spoken up, I wouldn't have been so upset for days. I wouldn't have had to try all kinds of ways every day to push him into a divorce. Harry seemed to remember that too. He accused me, you started it. I was in pain and miserable. Blushing, I covered his mouth. Shut up. I didn't do that. Maybe his antics awoke a second personality in me. Harry made a request, kiss me. I firmly resisted such unreasonable behavior. Didn't move an inch. He wasn't mad, glanced at my hand. Seconds later, I dropped it like it was hot. Harry. He repeated, kiss me. I quickly pecked his lips. Who knows what he'd do if I didn't oblige. Harry's eyes sparkled with amusement. He bent his head, planting kisses on my lips before I could glare at him. This is reciprocation, he explained. While saying this, his tail wagged happily. Moments later, Harry couldn't help himself. Hoarsely, he begged me, I'm still so uncomfortable. Can we kiss a little longer this time? Seeing him like this, I can't imagine how he endured the previous heat periods. Feeling soft-hearted, I sealed his lips with mine. Harry froze a few seconds, then noticing I wasn't pulling away, tentatively deepened the kiss, eventually taking the lead. As my mind started drifting, Harry guided my hand over his slowly surfacing demon patterns, whispering through restrained breaths, "Wendy, you can check them out this time." Saying that, but he didn't give me the chance. The second my gaze fell on the demon patterns, Harry leaned in for another kiss. "Maybe don't look." To avoid any misunderstandings. Him secretly feeling upset. After the kiss, I rushed in to say, "They're beautiful." Harry let out a breath he'd been holding, igniting the atmosphere instantly. This sentence became a frequent line for a long time afterward. I can't say it out loud. Because if I do, Harry might lose it. It was only by the next afternoon that I dragged myself out of bed. Harry had already been sent off to work by me. Lucy was sitting on the couch, playing with her pet snake. When she saw me, she teased, "Weren't you talking about divorce yesterday?" I knew it was just a game you two play. I tightened my collar and had the auntie bring over the tools she'd prepared in advance. Ever since I realized the little clay figure in Harry's room was made by me, I wanted to make one for him too. But we didn't have the right setup for making clay figures at home, and I was too lazy to go out. So, I settled on carving a little wooden figure to make Harry happy. Luckily, Lucy had studied this and was quite skilled. While calling me love-struck, Lucy patiently taught me. It was a big project. For almost a month, I secretly carved while Harry was out during the day. At night, I'd help him through his heat. But eventually, I noticed something wasn't right. Out of 30 days, Harry was in heat for about 24. Coincidentally, the day I finished carving the wooden figure, Harry used his heat as an excuse again and begged me. I glared at him. "This often? Need me to take you for a checkup?" Harry sensed something off. He let go of me, apologizing, "I'm sorry, babe." With that attitude, I couldn't stay mad. After glaring at him for a while, I took out the wooden figure from behind me. "Here." Seeing Harry freeze, I added, "It might be a bit ugly, but it's definitely you, not anyone else." In that moment, I understood why I couldn't recognize the little clay figure. It was really difficult. Harry's lips curved up. "It looks amazing." He leaned in to kiss me. "Thank you, babe." Harry took hundreds of photos of the wooden figure from different angles. From solo shots of the figure, to him with the figure, to all three of us together. Eventually, even the clay figure he made for me was included. While he was snapping away, the auntie knocked on the door and handed over a box. "Ma'am, Miss Lucy just sent this, saying it would help you take control." I sensed something was off and was about to take a look. But Harry grabbed it first. The auntie turned to leave. I watched as Harry opened the box, exposing its contents. His Adam's apple bobbed. "Wendy, what's this?" It was. But the moment the door cracked open, Harry noticed. She said that after all my hard work, Harry owed me a thank you. My face flushed red as I hurriedly took it from Harry and hid it behind me. "Don't look. If I put that on, Harry's heat might really start early." Harry smirked slightly, each word dripping with temptation. "Don't you want to take control?" I did want that. But I also wanted to get up on time tomorrow. Harry continued, "You can use that to tie me up, and then." His tail wrapped around my waist on its own, and I could see his horns starting to show. I ultimately couldn't resist and changed into the outfit in the bathroom. Coming out, I saw Harry also prepared, wearing the outfit I complimented a few days back. His eyes were dark, and he leaned down to kiss me deeply. Yet he remembered his promise, giving me enough control. As dawn approached, half asleep, Harry whispered in my ear, "I love you, babe."